Alive. I hope you're well. I hope you're keeping okay. And yeah, I just thought, you know what? I've got a bit of spare time. I've been pottering about, so I thought I'd jump on a live and see who's about and see if anybody wants to chat. I've got myself a cup of tea and I'm just sat here just kind of like mulling, just pondering, and just feeling a little bit like, what do I do? Yeah, so I thought I'll just jump on a live and see who's about and who wants to chat. And it's a weekend, so hopefully there'll be a few people about. Well, as you know, this channel's a lot about Reiki and mindfulness, meditation, and if that's something that you're interested in, it's also to do with like mental health and spirituality and whatever. So if that's something that you're interested in, then, and if you're seeing this live at a later date, then do subscribe to the channel, because there's a lot of videos on this channel to help you with mental health or for your spiritual journey, meditation. There's meditations, there's Reiki sessions, there's live Reiki sessions. There's a bit of all sorts on here, really. And it's been kind of a labour of love over the last sort of 5 years. Like 2020 I started this channel, so five years, it's kind of like a long time, and you see a lot of channels that seem to do really well quite quickly. But if anyone's wanting to start YouTube, you know, be prepared that it's kind of like it's a long haul, and it's hard work. It can be hard work. And to begin with, when I first started doing YouTube and started making videos, I made them kind of maybe like once every few days, maybe once or twice a week, and but it wasn't really consistent. It wasn't every week. So I'd make one and then leave it a while, and then make another one, and then leave it a while, and I didn't really get on to do shorts until like very late on my YouTube journey. And shorts are a really great way to get more subscribers onto your channel, because it's quick content that people can kind of like either resonate with or they don't. And obviously longer form videos is for people who have a bit of time and they want to stick around and watch your videos and tune in and listen and subscribe and follow and watch your journey and watch how you grow. So just the other day I got to 3,500 subscribers, which is amazing. It's really, really good. So thank you to all those that have subscribed and followed. And I do get I seem to get quite a few subscribers from people that watch the lives as well, which is good. So there's a connection there with people. And yeah, so it's been this kind of like arduous. It's been a really tough journey. Hi, New India. How are you? Are you well? It's been a really tough journey, to be fair, doing YouTube, and it's been a long learning curve as well. You're doing good, excellent. I am English, well done. I'm doing all right, thank you. Just jumped on to do a live to see who's about and who fancies chatting. Where's everybody from? I hope you've all got a cup of tea or a drink or a beverage of some sort to chill out with. You're Scottish and you support Newcastle. Newcastle's not far away from where I live, actually, so it's about 30 miles away. So my dad supports Newcastle. He likes Newcastle. But New India, I'm in the UK, I'm in England, northeast England. So yeah, so it's been kind of a bit of a journey, YouTube, to be fair. It's been pretty tough, and I watch a lot of content about YouTube and YouTube growth, and they all say different things. You know, some people say don't post every day, other people say post every day. And I'm listening. I'm checking the messages as they come through, so don't worry. But you've got to do what's right for you as well. You don't want to get overwhelmed, because sometimes your ideas can just kind of like dry up. So sometimes it's good to have a little bit of a break. My name's Ian. What's your name? And where are you from? New India. Where are you from? I've just been going through all my old videos as well. So I've got like about 1,600 videos or something on this channel. It's quite a lot. I've been going through a lot of the old ones and renaming them or making them more search friendly, changing the thumbnails, just updating them a little bit. Nicholas Ocampo, hello there. You came across this live. Hope you're okay. What is this about? I am very well, thank you. I hope you are too. Nice to have you here. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. What is this about? It's basically I'm just hanging out. I'm just chilling, just seeing if anyone who wants to chat. I've got a bit of spare time, so I thought, you know what, I'll just jump on a live and see who's about and see if anyone wants to talk about anything or everything. What have you been up to today? I don't speak Hindi, unfortunately, in New India. Where are you from, Nicholas Ocampo? Italy? Sounds like an Italian name, that. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you. What's everyone been up to? Whereabouts are you from in the world? What have you all been up to? I'll give you a rundown of my day so far. So I got up at 6 o'clock this morning, took the dogs out, came home. You're from Mexico. What do I do? So I'm a Reiki practitioner. I also practice hypnotherapy, teach meditation. I practice EFT with my clients as well, which is emotional freedom technique. So I work a lot with people that have a lot of mental health issues. I used to suffer with mental health issues a long time ago in my 20s. And I've been on like kind of a bit of a journey to work on that. And here I am today practicing to be able to help people with similar issues such as depression, anxiety, panic attacks, and so forth. So that's why this channel's here as well, is to help support people. So it's a bit of free content for anyone that might struggle with the mental health or anything like that. Then, you know, and also like in the spiritual aspect of things, of being able to help ourselves. So if that resonates with you and it has some meaning, then do feel free to hit the subscribe button, because there's lots of content on here to help with that. Milk for a snack. Hey folks, USA here. Having a mind is the wildest thing I have ever experienced. Did you not have one before? How do you know? Morning and night, New India. What's morning and night for you? So what have you been up to? What's everyone been up to? Nicholas Ocampo, are you still here? What have you been up to today? Milk for a snack, what have you been up to today, apart from getting a mind? What does everybody do? Does everybody work? What time is it here now? It is not quite 20 past 6 UK time. What time is it there? What do all these buttons do on the side anyway? What's that one for? Retouch. What's retouch for? Retouch on, retouch off. I have no idea what it does. Oh, it's like a bit like a little bit of a filter. What's that one? Oh, apparently a 49-second shot has been uploaded to my channel. Didn't know that did that. Nicholas, wow, your job is amazing. I know many people with mental issues. What do you think is the things that provoke anxiety, depression, or any other issues with our mental health? It's basically what a lot of it is that you're just not happy with where you are in life. You're not happy with the present moment, and you want to be somewhere else. Usually, when you're anxious, you usually want to be usually too far in the past, thinking about things that have happened, or you're too busy thinking about things that are coming. And depression as well. Again, it's not being in the present moment, but it's more like with depression, it's very much like you kind of like you lose a bit of your will. Really, you just kind of like you're just lost, a little bit lost with yourself in mind and body. So it's just about reconnecting and reharmonizing the energy internally. And by finding out what is causing the anxiety, what's causing the depression, because there's always an overriding emotion or feeling or something that is causing that. So you need to basically sit down, talk to them, work with them, and work out where they're at. And usually what happens with emotions as well, because you work in emotional layers, is you always have one overriding emotion, but usually that's masking other emotions underneath. So you have to kind of like layer through them, work through them. Milk for a snack. I had a vivid shift maybe a year or two ago. I call it my dark moon. It is tough for sure. I think I am right in the middle of it. It is humbling and terrible, but I feel love in it too. That's good. That's really good that you feel a love in it as well. You got to keep loving yourself. I think when you start to lose the love for yourself, that is a really dangerous place to be in. Because then you get to the point where you go on to various pathways of trying to numb yourself, really, with whatever things you can find. It could be some level of addiction, or alcohol, or food, or just negative thoughts, negative mindset as well. It all does the same thing. It's just a way of trying to mask things out. Usually when people are in that state, they usually just try and find something to just cover it up with. With me, it was always alcohol. I used to drink a fair bit, probably about 4 or 5 days a week I would drink. I don't drink anymore. I've not drank alcohol for a long time, many years since I drank anything in volume. I went out for a birthday party a couple of weeks ago and had a couple of drinks then, but that was it. And that was enough. And then the next day, I was just wiped out because I don't drink. The next day it was just a write out for me. I was just can't hack it, cannot hack it. And I just don't see how people can do it. How they can just feel so shitty the next day, and struggle through the day just feeling like crap all day, just because of a night out, or 2 nights out, or 3 nights out, however many times it might be. But for me, I just got to a point where I was just like, I cannot do this anymore. I was just like existing. And it's when you get to that point and you make that conscious decision that, right, that's it. I need to nip this in the bud now. I need to stop. I need to sort myself out, because I had issues at work. I had issues with my job at the time. I had a lot of issues with people that were around me. And yeah. Nicholas Ocampo, you're in Mexico. It is 11:23 a.m. Oh yeah, you're behind, aren't you? You live in Mexico City and you work in customer service. Sorry to hear that. I've worked in customer service a long time, over the years, and I've never been to Mexico. I've been to America and I've been to Canada, but I've never been to Mexico. It looks lovely. It looks like a really lovely country, to be fair. Milk for a snack. I tried drinking months ago. It was more like facing a fear than escaping. It was the first time I tried it. 38 years old at the time. Tried THC gummies 2 days ago. Better but not amazing. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. 38 years old. How old are you now, if you don't mind me asking? You must be, well, if that was a few months ago, then you're 39 now. Right, okay. Yeah, 38, 39, it's quite a poignant age for a lot of people, because that's that kind of age where many tend to go through this kind of like midlife crisis stage, where they're starting to, I made a video about this not so long ago actually, where they're starting to question everything in life, because when you're young, so you're born obviously, and you start to grow up, and you go straight after a couple of years, you go into school and nursing and education, and you're living in this formative life and existence for, well, what, 16 years or whatever, and then you leave there, and then you go on to college, or you go on to university, or whatever sort of system it is within the country where you are in the US. I know you call it school over there still, or college, or whatever. I'm not sure the terminology in the US, but it's that sort of thing. And then you get to a point where you leave there and you go into a place of work. You go into your place of work, and again you're under this system of constraint, and you kind of like, you're doing what you're told, and you follow the rules, and you follow the book, and this, that, and the other. And then you get to a point where you just think, well, what's it all about? You just think there must be more to life than this. And that was my thinking. I thought that when I was like 19, 20, when I just started working, I was just thinking, this can't be it. There must be something more to life than just this, than just getting up, going to work, coming home, going to sleep, getting up, going to work. There must be something more to it than just being on this roller coaster, or this rat race, as I now call it. And as you get older, it becomes more powerful, it becomes stronger. and the will from within, your soul, your spirit, whatever you want to call it, is crying out to be released, because you're in this cage structure of everything that's going on around you, and there's an aspect of you that doesn't want to be caged. You want to be able to spread your wings. You want to be able to do something that you're passionate about. You want to be able to do something that feeds your soul, that feeds your creativity, that feeds an aspect of you where you want to just get out there and just do it. So it could, it could be art, it could be travel, it can be anything in life that you want more of. But because of the cage structure that we tend to be constrained by, it limits us on some level. And even when you're not in that cage structure, you still feel a little bit caged as such, because then you've got the cage of the mind, you've got the ego that's always telling you that you won't be able to achieve this, you're not good enough, you're not going to be able to do that, yada, 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 yada. And it continues. So then you have to be able to work with the mind. Once you start to understand the mind and understand what the ego is and how it operates, then you start to be able to balance it out. And once you start to balance it out, then things become a little bit lighter and a little bit clearer to understand, and you start following more of a soul calling. You start following where your feet being divinely pulled to on your journey. It feels like I was granted a peek behind the curtain. I am still recovering. I couldn't hear the whisper, then I ignored the calling, and then the universe or inner me started screaming. And then, if you are as stubborn as I was, you give it a shove. A love shove, though. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so obviously that resonates with what I'm saying. You've felt that, and you've gone through that, and you felt that calling from within. And that calling from within is pure love. It's that connection to your pure love, to yourself, of something else you need to do. So there's various pockets of people. There was people like me and like you, Milk for a Snack. Sorry, I don't know your name, but I have to just call you Milk for a Snack. My name's Ian, by the way. So there was people like us that feel like we need to do more, or there's something more for us to do, or feel a calling to do something more, because we've got this soul connection that we want to feed our passion, we want to feed our soul, we want to move forward on this journey, and follow our passion, follow our calling. Then there's other people that are kind of on the fence, and they know that there's something they should be doing, or something within that they want to give something more to life, but they're a little bit on the fence, or a little bit like worried or scared by it. They don't want to take that leap. And then there's others that are just kind of totally hoodwinked by the whole system, and are quite happy with being controlled and told what to do, because that's how they operate. When you're living from a soul calling, you're living on a higher vibrational frequency. So you're more in that resonance of your own soul. So you're listening more to that. You're listening more to your intuition. You're listening more to that spiritual spark within. If you're not listening to that, and you're kind of like happy just doing what you're doing, and you're kind of like locked in that cage system, there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. That is also totally fine, because we need two polarities to exist at the same time. And right down the middle, if you think of the yin yang symbol, right down the middle you've got that line, and that's where the people on the fence are. So you can either jump the fence and go into one side, or stay on the fence, or you're in the other side. It's very interesting how it works, and when you start looking into the energy and the energy body, and how energy operates around, right from us and globally, and what we're attracting from our frequency and from our vibration, it's very interesting when you start looking at that. So giving that a love shove, as you describe it, is precisely what it is. You're giving it a shove from your essence of love, because that's your soul calling. That's what you want to do, and that intention alone will create more of that. And it's like ripples. As soon as you drop something, it just transcends out. It's like the ripples in a pond, and it will move out. And the only thing about this is it depends on how long does it take. So because we're still in the three-dimensional structure in the physical reality, things can take time, and with energy, and because we're always wanting things straight away, you can't really put a constraint on it. You can't really put a time on it. It will happen when it's meant to happen. So that's where the art of surrender comes in. So you put the thought out there, you put the feelings out there, you put the emotions out there, and you just kind of like, you just have to let it go and let the universe deal with it. So Nicholas Ocampo, customer service sometimes is horrible. Yeah, I kind of get that. You notice that many people have mental health issues, live with a lot of stress, and always want to have right. I mean, people is not open to feedback. Yeah, people always think that they're right, and they're definitely not open to feedback. Yeah. It's one of them things, isn't it? When you're working for the man, or the woman, or whoever, let's keep it PC. But yeah, when you're working for the man or the woman, they have the rules laid down. It's like what I was talking about. It's like this cage structure, and you can't kind of argue with the customer or anything like that. It's just like the customer's always right and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, it's just one of them things. It is draining, and it can be extremely exhausting on you as as the member of staff. I remember going home and just feeling absolutely depleted sometimes because of just the way people were, and also people carry energy. We are energy. Anyway, but people carry a lot of energy. So whatever people have been through that day, whatever people have been through that week, that month, a lot of the time they're carrying all that stuff with them because they don't know how to let go of it. They don't know how to get rid of it. So they carry a lot of that round. And then when they're coming in to interact with us, or you, or other people in customer service, or whatever line of work it might be, when they're coming into contact with them, they're giving that energy away to other people, so they're spreading it around, and that's when we, as the customer service people or the people that they're in contact with, you can feel that, and that's why you feel drained. And sometimes it's the people that you're actually working with that are carrying a lot of that energy, or a lot of people that I've worked with in the past have been quite narcissistic and have been pretty awful people, horrible people, and they carry a lot of heavy, dense energy around with them, and then they push it onto other people just by the way that they behave, the things that they say, the way that they act. It's one of them things, but once you start to learn about it and learn about how energy works in everyday life, then you kind of like start to understand what people are going through, and then what we're individually going through at the same time. And then you learn the tools of how to harmonize and balance your energy when you get home, to shift all the crap people have been pushing onto you. Milk for a snack. It feels like I met my guides recently or something, and I have so much to do that I sometimes get super excited, and other times the overwhelm takes the reins. Yeah. It sounds a lot like you're going through some sort of spiritual awakening, to be fair. because that's the other side of the coin of an awakening is a lot of mental health problems, because you actually see the world as it is, and then you're going on this kind of like inner journey, and discovering more about yourself energetically, such as your guides, and it can be they can actually, with their energy, they can create some anxiety as well. I know the first time I kind of like really fully connected and felt a guide's energy, then that was very much like a Kundalini kind of awakening energy. It was very, very powerful, but it was just like complete love and bliss just thrown at me, like just like that, and I was just like, wow, I was just like blown away. But I felt the energy surge from like my stomach up over, and it was just like something that just being like kind of like pulled out of me, and I just felt this intense feeling of love and bliss, and that's because I wanted to connect and feel and speak to my guides and understand my guides on a deeper level. So if you speak to them and talk to them, then, and let them know sometimes if you need them to ease off a little bit, then they will do that as well. You know, they are there to support you, so they can be extremely overwhelming and very powerful, but they are there to support you as well. And also the energy of your guides is actually within you, as well. So your guides, I never think of them anymore. I used to think of them as being external beings, but now I think of them as just an aspect of you, an aspect of your energy. And then when there's an aspect of your energy that you connect to, and that is when you're receiving the information from the guides. Worked heavily with potential and kinetic energy, loved tinkering. I even have a YouTube channel that showcased this fact, but now I need to work on myself so fervently that I can barely pick up a wrench. I'm getting the waves, and I'm so glad I stopped in. Holy crap, thank you so far. You're welcome. I do creative writing, so I first called my guides my ancients. Yeah, that's a good name. You know, and if you've come up with that name, that'll be a name that that's their collective energy that they want to be kind of known as, I suppose, my ancients. There will be a multitude of them as well. It won't be kind of like one, or we tend to have an array of spirit guides. I have a few animals that I connect to, especially with the healing work. I have a couple of Native Americans, of course, they're always there. I have a Tibetan monk, and yeah, a couple of you might want to call ETs as well. Not like greys or anything like that, but what's the name of them again? What's your name again? What's the name of your... Oh. It's gone. I can't get it. Like Arcturians. Yeah. So I work with a lot of Arcturian energy as well. And they're very much to do with creation and love and vibration, working with vibrations. I know when I went for an Akashic reading, quite a few years ago now, and that showed that when I first came to Earth, one of my first incarnations on Earth was all to do with vibration and sound, and I knew how to make things move and levitate with sound and vibration. So it was quite interesting to listen to. It's good they got a YouTube channel as well. I'll have to check it out. Milk for a Snack. Is that what your channel's called? Milk for a Snack, I'm guessing? Or have you got another one? I think that meditation is something very useful for everyone. How can anyone start with it? Great question. So meditation, when I first started meditation in my 20s, I didn't even know what I was doing, to be fair. But I just knew I had to find something. It was a friend of mine that introduced me to it. So basically I just put some music on, and it was a guided meditation actually that I listened to, and I just followed the guided meditation. But the best way I find is to just find somewhere comfortable to sit. Oh, that's your main channel, the Thinkerer. Right, I'll check it out. Can I go on there now? No, I can't go on there now. I'll check it out later on though, the Thinkerer. I'll make a note of that. That's the thing about these lives. It's good to meet. It's good to meet different people, and sometimes, such as you, Thinkerer, Alex. Is that your name, Alex? But when you first said about like having a mind and what have you, I thought, oh, here we go. But then as as the conversation evolved, then you find out there's so much more to people. So it's good to be a goofball, by the way, it is. But yeah, sometimes like when you do a live, you don't know who's going to come on. So I'm always kind of like a little bit reserved. But you always connect with the people that you need to connect to, especially on these lives. The people that are meant to be there will be there, and I'm sure you've taken something from this today to help you on your journey as well. But anyway, as Nicholas Ocampo was saying, the best thing to start and the easiest thing to start with meditation is basically just to close the eyes, find somewhere comfortable, just sit upright, feet flat on the floor, and all you want to do is just breathe and just follow your breathing. And that is the basics of meditation, is just to follow your breath. So the other thing about meditation is that a lot of people tend to get wrong is they always think that you have to stop the thoughts. So people are so busy consciously trying to stop the thoughts that it takes them out of the meditation practice and it becomes too much of a distraction for them. The point of meditation is not to stop the thoughts. The point of meditation is to become awareness of the thought. So basically, when you're in meditation, you're never going to stop your mind from thinking. You're never going to be able to stop thoughts from coming in and going over whatever. So even when I've been meditating for 20 odd years now, and even when I'm going into meditation, for the first 5-10 minutes, I'm constantly thinking. I'm just thinking daft stuff. Daft stuff will come in because it's the ego a lot of the time just trying to create a distraction. And the ego, by the way, is your mind. A lot of people think of ego as being kind of, well, how dare you? How dare you say that's my ego? But ego is your mind. It's just how it works. So you're never going to stop your thoughts, and that's the first basis to understand, is not to try and stop the thought, is to become the conscious observer of the thought. So by that, what do I mean? Because that sounds kind of like cryptic, but with practice over time, and it's not going to happen straight away. It takes months and years to build up a good healthy practice. But at the beginning stages, just focus on your breathing, focus on your breath with your eyes closed, and that's it. And just build up. So after maybe a few minutes, the thoughts might start coming in. So just allow them to come in and go. And in your meditation, just imagine that you're maybe sat on a busy high street, and the thoughts that are entering and leaving, and just people walking past. So just allow them to go past. Just observe them and let them come and go. Don't try and connect with them, because as soon as you connect with a thought, it starts to take you off on a pathway. So it's just being the observer of the thought. And the reason why we do this is it creates more clarity of mind, and it makes you more conscious of the stuff that's going on in your head. And when you become more consciously aware of the stuff that's going on in your head, you realize 90%, well, maybe 95% of the time, a lot of the stuff we think is utter shite. It's crap, basically. And then the 5% is the really good, juicy stuff that we need to have more focus on. And with practice, over time, and again, months and years, it becomes easier to focus on the good, juicy stuff rather than the crap and the stuff that we don't need to focus on. So it becomes easier. So you have better clarity of mind and better focus. So then, once you have better clarity of mind and better focus, you're then able to live life in a more disciplined, harmonious way. So you will want to find time each day to meditate, because that will then become part of your habitual practice of each day. You will probably want to with meditation, it gives you more clarity of your lifestyle as well. So you might be drawn to eat healthier foods. You might be drawn to drink more water. You might be drawn to want to do more exercise or do more for your body to keep yourself physically well. So it's all about a balancing act. Rather than just being mentally, emotionally, and spiritually well, we also have to be physically well, because the physical body is the vessel of what you carry your essence, your soul in. So the healthier your body, the healthier your mind, the healthier your emotional and mental balance and physical balance, the more harmonious you and easy to connect with your spiritual energy you will be. And by spiritual energy, again, that is something that sounds very, very mystical, and it is in a way. Once you start going a little bit deeper, it is. But as a little, for instance, let's all do this together. As a little bit of a for instance, right? I just want you to just rub your hands together, and we're going to rub them so they're going to generate a lot of heat between the hands. So start doing this now, just rubbing the hands together and generating that heat. All right, and just focus on the hands. Focus on the heat between the hands. Okay, now just stop and put the hands. Imagine you're holding a football. You've got an invisible ball of energy between your hands, and I just want you to just gently start moving the hands in and out, and just be aware of what you might feel in the palms of your hands. Just place full awareness in the fingers, full awareness in the palms of the hands, full awareness in the space between the hands, and just gently move the hands in and out, and just be aware of what you feel in your fingers between the hands. And you might feel a gentle tingling, a fine vibration. You might feel like a thickness to the space between your hands. You might feel like an energy. Okay, so that is basically, when you do that, when you start working with that, you're amplifying your own energy. So that energy that you can feel between your hands, when you start going deep into a meditation, you start to feel it in your hands, you feel it in your feet, you'll feel it all over your body, wherever you place your awareness. So as your meditation practice develops, to then deepen your awareness, to deepen your practice, you send that awareness to the various areas of your body. So you can send it to your feet, and this is like somatic meditation. So this is where the somatic breath comes in with the meditation. So if you've got a bad back, or you've got pain in a knee or something like that. So a lot of this pain can be emotion that's actually trapped in the body. So for years, when I was having issues with mental health and emotional stuff and anxiety, I always suffered with lower back pain. When I started doing the meditation and doing the Reiki practices and getting more into this spiritual practice, a lot of my lower back pain went away. Not all of it, but a lot of it did. And that's because of the emotional releases that I was doing through the meditation practices. So our bodies, I've just actually released a video today, which was scheduled. It's gone out today, and it's about how the body holds on to emotion and holds on to the emotional things that go on in life, the emotional trauma. So check out that video. It's just gone out today, and I've posted it in my communities. So if you're new to the channel as well, or you've not subscribed to the channel, do subscribe, because there's videos go out every week with content about this kind of stuff to help you. But that's one thing, is just feeling your energy. And when you're in meditation, as your practice develops, you get better at that and you get deeper into your meditation. That's when the healing starts to really happen. So I'm just going to get back to these comments a second. Milk for a snack. What I'm feeling about the mind comment is that I feel like my narrative is suddenly human. What I think this means is I grew up living inside my toys and hobbies. I had immense empathy for inanimate objects. Then recently I feel like I was evicted from said objects. Now I'm out here with humanity, out here with you guys, left with this deep feeling of where was I? Oh, that's interesting. This is almost like a oh, thank you, Laura. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for commenting as well. And I hope you've subscribed to the channel for more stuff like this and more lives in the future. So do you think, Alex, do you think that maybe you hung on to a little bit of your kind of your past and you didn't want to kind of, I suppose, let go of that? Maybe you felt safety in that, being in that space, being in that connection, just being in that, I suppose, playful mind. Yeah, that's interesting, really interesting, that. It depends as well what you think on being, like you say, suddenly human. But what does that mean to you, to be human? This means, so I mean, there's only 3 people in at the minute, but this will be different for so many people, and this will be where we go into these 3 categories that I was talking about before. The people that follow the soul, the people that sat on the fence, and the people that are quite happily caged in a system. This will vary between person to person, but what do you think it means to be suddenly human? Does it mean that you've had to kind of become like an adult, you know, as adulthood kind of like taken hold, where you've had to kind of like accept that you're not younger? What does it mean for you? Yes, I am still white knuckling, although I know better. Even got rid of my toys almost ceremoniously, like, thanks guys, you served me, now it's time to move on. Yeah. I think that's a life stage thing, isn't it? It's definitely a life stage thing, I think, that you're going through, and an awakening. There's definitely an awakening going on, because you've had to step into this other reality that you've been in that place for a long time, and you've been connected to, I suppose, that life, and that way of living, and living in that nice kind of like little bubble, but sometimes the bubble has to kind of pop every now and again, and we have to see like where we're at. What do we want to do? Do we want to follow the soul, as Laura says, or do we want to be on the fence? You know, I don't think I think on the fence is quite a painful place to be. Because if it's a spiky fence as well, then you're going to get a spike up your up your backside. But just being on the fence, how awful must that be? Because there's an aspect of you that is yearning to go over there and follow your soul, but you're also torn because you're so scared to come away from the safety of this cage structure of living in this society that has kept you kind of safe because it's easy, rather than stepping into the unknown a little bit. And I think sometimes you have to step into the unknown for your soul to grow, for your soul to just think, and for you to mentally and think and to push the ego away, because the ego is always going to be say, no, don't do that, it'll all go wrong, it's not safe. Stick with the safe option, stick with the security, stick with the safety, rather than stepping into the unknown. And I talk about this a lot on my channel, but stepping into the fear is one of the most powerful things you can do, because it lifts a veil. It really does. It lifts a veil and it opens your consciousness, and you become just so receptive to so much more of you. It's like you've taken off like a padlock of your soul, and it opens so much more of yourself that you're actually you're more receptive to your creativity, you're more receptive to things that you need to do or that your soul wants to do, and it just gives you so much more clarity that you're just like, fuck yes, I've done it. You've actually taken that step. It's such a powerful thing to do, and the universe rewards you for that. It really does. It could be that simple. It could be adulthood for real. I am such a kid. I kept my wonder and fed my imagination, but now my imagination is overweight and I break down and weep regularly. But my childhood had a warm shroud around it. Now I'm out here in the wind. Being on the fence might be the worst. Also, you may not love green grass. It is a lot of maintenance. The best place to be is being on both sides of the fence. Now you are looking down at the fence and the yard from some other plane. Yeah. You're looking at things from a higher perspective. And the thing is as well, that higher perspective only really comes from moving into the fear, moving past that point of the fence. It really is it can be quite a crippling place to be. But yeah, you've got to kind of do it, because like I was saying before, once you do that, you expand your consciousness so much more, and you're able to see a bigger picture going on. You're able to see a bit more of the game that's being played around us in the world, and the world stage that's taking place as well. Laura, I stayed on the fence for so long because I didn't know what I was really capable of, and I always settled for I don't even know. I don't even know now. So have you found what you think you're capable of? What is it that you're doing now, Laura? What is it that scares you, Alex? What is it that scares you about your potential? I know it's scary. It is scary. It's a scary place to be at times. But we only grow when we step into that. We've got to look at what part of us is being scared by that process. I mean, I still get scared, so I still go through these things as well. I mean, this year I left employment, to become self-employed, because I was coaching at a gym. You're working on it. Good. Well, that's good if you're working on it. Hey, if you are working on it, then you are ahead of a large amount of people, Laura. Rejoice. Absolutely. Being blocked by others through energy. So what is it that you feel from other people's energy is blocking you? Do you think it's what people might think? Do you think people might ridicule you or have opinions? What is it about their energy that is kind of blocking you? It can be really scary to sometimes as well, just to sit and to be with yourself and to be with your thoughts and to think about these things. So the fact that you're doing this is like really, really powerful. It's really powerful stuff. You're experiencing witchcraft. Okay, Nicholas. I don't know when the next live will be, actually. To be honest with you, lately I've just been jumping on whenever. But if you've subscribed, then hit the bell so when I do go live, you'll be getting notified. But I tend to try and do around about this sort of time when I do go live. But have a beautiful day, and thank you for being here, Nicholas. And hopefully speak to you soon. So you're experiencing witchcraft. I've been energetically and spiritually working through it. So what, do you think someone is doing witchcraft on you? Is that what you think? Or is that what you believe? So yes, so you think is it somebody that you know that you think is doing witchcraft on you? How do you know? And what is it that's happened that makes you think that that's what's happening? I have unearthed another ailment of mine recently. Success, as I define it, is more daunting than failure. Oi, oi, oi. I am struggling with what do I deserve? So you think it's a group? Interesting. So you're getting physical attacks and emotional attacks. So the best thing for you to do, because you are always divinely protected, always, you need to set up boundaries. You need to set up an internal boundary system that doesn't allow any energy in. You don't take any shit. And it's from strength of character that you create that. You create that boundary through strength of character. And basically, a lot of this work, it just comes from belief. So let's just take this for instance. So this crystal here, I've got an opal. It's an opal crystal. So if my belief about this crystal, hi Farah, if my belief about this crystal is that this crystal is going to, I don't know, make me $1 million, £1 million, whatever. If my belief is within that crystal that is what it's going to do, then that is what it will do. Eventually, not straight away. But my belief is so strong If my belief is strong enough, then that's what it will do. It's all about intention, manifestation, and creation. So you need to strengthen yourself mentally and emotionally. How we do this is through, first off, belief. Secondly, tell yourself, talk to yourself, talk to your body and talk to your spirit, talk to God, talk to the universe, whatever belief whether it's Jesus, whether it's God, whether it's the Buddha, whether it's Krishna, whatever your belief is, whatever your belief structure is. I'm not religious, but I like a lot of different things because they all cross over. So Jesus. So the light of Jesus is always within you. And the light of Jesus is always protecting you and helping you, because you already are the light of Jesus. The light of Jesus exists within every single one of us, and it's called Christ consciousness, and we're all awakening and we're stepping into our power. You need to believe that you are stepping into your own power, and you are powerful, you are strong, and you can create and attract and move away whatever you want. Have that belief, have that strength of mind, have that knowing, have that emotional connection. Once you got that emotional connection, you got that true belief within, and within your mind, within your body, within your soul, within your emotions, within your mental clarity. Once you've got that and you've built that, you will become impenetrable and very, very powerful and always protected. You are always protected. If you believe you are always protected, you will be always protected. And it's just about having that belief and having that intention. And sometimes all you need to do, if you need to build and create that intention, is just to sit, meditate on it, visualize it, visualize a ball of light in your chest, at your heart, and just visualize it getting brighter and brighter, and it's going to eventually move out. It's going to move out into your arms, it's going to move down to your legs. It's going to create this ball of white light all around you, and that ball of white light is your very essence. It's your soul, which is connected to God and Jesus and whatever you believe, and it is removing, clearing, getting rid of any negativity. And you talk to it, you say, I release this, I let go of that. And once you start to believe that and you start to talk to it and you actually give it you give yourself the power to speak to it and get rid of it, it will be so. It will be gone. You are so powerful. People don't realize how powerful we are. You are so powerful. But there is so many people out there that like to use fear, because fear is also a very, very powerful tool. But as I was talking before, fear is often the very place that we need to step into to then realize how powerful we are. And as soon as you start to step into the fear actually dissipates, it disintegrates, it goes. So just stepping into it, acknowledging it, and telling it that you have no power over me. No one has power over you. Nobody. Have that strength. Have that strength internally and within. And with all the work that you're doing through meditation, through your crystals, whatever you can, whatever resonates from what I've said, take on board what resonates, leave what doesn't. But it all comes from you at the end of the day. And a lot of this goes back to like Reiki. As a Reiki practitioner, there's a lot of people talk about protection, they talk about this, they talk about that. But at the end of the day, if we are this great bright light, and we are this beam of energy, and we are energy incarnate in body, then all we need to do is focus on our energy, focus on our true way of being, and our energy becomes unstoppable. it becomes healing. It helps to transcend, it helps to transform, transmute, and change belief structures, change ways of being. So Farah, I'm just going back over the comment. I was recommended to get certified in Reiki by both my Reiki practitioners. Do it. Learn in person. Don't go online. Learn in person. But yeah, do it. Find a Reiki master teacher. Obviously, you've got some that you already know. Find a Reiki master teacher that's local to you. Learn in person. In-person teaching has so much more benefits than online. There's a lot of people that learn online, and I follow a few groups that do Reiki, and they're all just kind of like they're left high and dry. They have no one to speak to. Once they've been attuned and they've learned online, that's it. There seems to be this disconnect where either the Reiki master teacher just doesn't have time for them, or it just stops. Whereas if you learn in person as well, when I teach in person, my students work continuously through me, and I guide them and help them on their journey. And I have Reiki master teachers now that I'm still helping and guiding along their journey as well. But just because you're a Reiki master and a Reiki master teacher doesn't mean that you are a master. The learning truly begins when you become a Reiki master. It's very, very humbling. And for what I did, when I became a Reiki master, I was a bit like, well, what do I do now? Where do I go with it? Because I was nowhere near ready to teach. And so I went all the way back to Reiki level 1. I started going all the way through again. So you're developing and building your knowledge, and you're getting more and more knowledge within the systems of Reiki that you're using. It is jarring to even begin to accept your potential. I could see why so many don't do it, and of course I am not there yet. If I get that, I will want to speak on it though. You will get there. There's no if. You will get there. Have that belief. You will get there. I mean, use it as a mantra every single day. I am getting there. I will get there. I am there. Just create. Once you start to rewire your thinking and rewire the way you speak to yourself, the words that you speak, it's all to do with spelling at the end of the day. That's why this use spelling is spells in witchcraft and all that sort of stuff. You start to create spells on yourself. So a lot of the time, the spells that are being put on us is by our own mind and by our own intention. I'd like to eventually become a Reiki master. Yeah. It's a hell of a journey. It's a wonderful journey. Don't rush it. Take as long as it needs. I know people that like to rush it. I know people that have done courses over a weekend that have been Reiki 1 to level 3 in a weekend, and it's just like, no, don't do it. Don't do these Reiki training sessions that are like over a weekend. They're absolutely awful, and they're not doing the right credit and the right justice for Reiki. In-person Reiki is the way to go. And I always say, like, when I teach Reiki 1, I always leave about 4 to 6 months roughly between Reiki 1 and Reiki 2. Between Reiki 2 and Reiki 3, I teach master teacher together. I always say to leave 9 months to a year, just so you can work on yourself, because level 2 is quite a big level. You get attuned to the Reiki symbols and you learn about distance healing. It's very, very powerful. It's very transformative. And Reiki level 2 for me was probably the biggest kind of like upgrade. And everyone has the ability to heal. It's innate within us. When you're a kid, and if you fall over and you scuff your knee, the first thing that your mother does, or the first thing that you do, is you go and put your hand on your knee. It's the innate healing ability within all of us. We all have it. It's just kind of like being lost in. It's just been lost in transition. It really has. I love how we're all helping each other and helping each other to just fly high. There is no limit. The only limit that we put on ourselves is us. We limit ourselves, and so we've got to do the healing work before, so we can kind of like take off those shackles and those layers. I want everyone to take a simple question. How guided are you on your spiritual journey? Like, I normally like trying to discuss it, but I also know that not everyone wants to hear it. Yeah, I mean, it's a really, really good question, actually, especially when I'm working with clients. So some clients, they want to hear all the weird and wonderful, and they want to know like what I was feeling, what I was seeing, and what I was sensing. But it depends on where they're at. So I kind of like test the water a little bit, and I'll just say, you know, maybe I saw some colours, or I felt this, or I felt that. And then, but then I want to know what they felt and what they saw, what they experienced, because it's their treatment, it's not my treatment. So I want to find out what they're experiencing and what they're feeling and seeing, and if that means something to them. And it's 9 times out of 10 they've usually experienced something or seen something or felt something, and that sometimes opens more questions. So then you can start going down little avenues of different things that you can kind of like explore and express. But yeah, it's not something I kind of like constantly talk about, because again, with everything, I think there's a balance. There's a balance with it, you know. So if we're constantly in like kind of like the spiritual, then we're forgetting about the mind, the body, and the emotions. We're forgetting about that aspect of us. So it's all about balance. It's yin and yang. We've got to have this equilibrium within that keeps everything in balance. You know, years ago I was all for the spiritual. It was always about the energy, wanting to see spirit, wanting to hear spirit, wanting to do this, that, and the other, and all this sort of stuff, but totally forgot about where I was physically or mentally and emotionally. So even though a lot of that work was helping, but it takes you out of balance a little bit. One reason I am scared of removing my limits is that if I can truly just remove them myself, I'll be crushed. Like, why didn't I do this years ago? But then I am guided on how the timing is fixed. I mean, the timing comes from when it comes. I could have faced what I am now back when I was 22. Well, yeah, you could have done, but you didn't. So there's no point in like kind of like reflecting on it. But if you feel, whenever you feel the time is right when it's right for you. I know it sounds like a bit of a cliche and what have you, but it really is. There is no way of dictating when the time is going to be right. I mean, I didn't know that I would become a Reiki teacher or a Reiki practitioner. The only reason why I knew I wanted to become a Reiki practitioner, a Reiki teacher, was because I had some Reiki sessions and they vastly benefited me. And it was from that I just knew that that's what I had to do. I didn't know that I was going to start going down all the spiritual stuff and the like woo-woo stuff that people might want to deem it. I didn't know that was going to happen. That's just an aspect of me that opened up. But as soon as you start taking little steps towards it, and you don't have to jump right in, you just take little steps towards it, and each step that you take towards it, and the more healing that you do, the easier the step, and the layers become easier to move through on that progression and on that journey. So yeah, there's no rush. You know, it's just because you're 38, 39 now. You know, some people don't come across this stuff till they're in the 50s or 60s. But it happens when it happens. And it's happened for you at the perfect time. The perfect time, because you're stepping into your authentic self. You're stepping into who you are now. You're stepping away from the stuff from before, from where you were in childhood, and you're letting go of that, and you're becoming the person that you are, and you're going through all this kind of like, I suppose, like a midlife crisis sort of thing for a reason, because again, there's an aspect of yourself that is yearning for more, and you got to follow that yearning for more, but just take one step at a time. Yeah. I mean, I didn't even really talk that much about the spiritual stuff for quite a while, until I felt more at peace with it and more harmonious with it and more connected to it. It took me a while. It did take me a while, but again, it takes as long as it takes. And it's just when you feel confident with it in yourself and you feel at ease with it in yourself, that then you can start talking about it. And that opening of that acceptance of yourself will then allow other people that are like-minded to come in. So obviously you're here now, and we've attracted like-minded people. Laura's come on and talked about her journey. You're here and you've helped each other out. So I always say that people attract where they need to be. People join where they need to be. Yeah, absolutely. So just observe, then talk about it when you feel like it's somewhat, integrated, or someone's going to accept it. Because it's not, it's one of them things that people will either take it or they won't. But whatever their opinion is, that's their opinion. I don't really care. Like, I'm not really that bothered. If they think I'm talking shite, then that's fine. But I'm not really that bothered. It's what I've experienced, what I've felt, and what I've seen is enough validation for me. If they want to experience that, then they've got to go on their own journey to experience it. I can't. You can take the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink at the end of the day. Do I believe in the twin flame dynamic or anything similar? Kind of. I do believe in kind of like the soul flame kind of thing, or soul family. The twin flame thing is quite an interesting, because a lot of people think of twin flames being mutually attracted, or that are meant to be together kind of thing. But in actual fact, the twin flame is kind of like, it's two opposites. It's the yin and yang again. And one of my friends who I've chatted to on this channel actually has someone in his life that is a twin flame, and their relationship is so polar opposites. I mean, they're not in a sort of relationship, but then the friends. But the friendship is so on and off all the time, because the opposites and dynamics of the relationship is so volatile at times through that twin flame dynamic. So there's a lot of mixed messages about the twin flame thing. Some think that it's like, they're meant to be together, but on the other side of it, it's just like, it's the polar opposites. So whereas my friend, my mate, who I talk to quite a bit, and we've done videos on here before together, we're a soul connection, we are soul family, because it's an interesting story actually. I'll just digress slightly, but I connected to him through a Telegram group, and the Telegram group was called something like Awakening Healers, or something along those lines. I'm not in it anymore. I left it because it's just toxic now. But I met him through there, and I was asking if anybody wanted to do a podcast. Hey, Toby. So he got in touch, and we connected, and we just chatted on Telegram via video or via Zoom or whatever. And we'd finished the chat, and then about maybe like half an hour after the chat, I was just like, where do I know him from? And I just had this feeling that I know him. And so I messaged him, and I said, I just feel like I know you. And he messaged me back saying, oh my God, he said, I was just thinking exactly the same thing. there's a soul connection there. It's really, really bizarre how this soul family thing works, but it's very, very powerful, very powerful. Brian, hey Brian, how you doing? Hi Toby, nice to see you again. My angle is the twin being something of an activator or catalyst on your journey. I don't know, I'm in the middle of something that I am grappling with. It could be. It could be that maybe there's an element of activation that needs to take place within that. It could be. I don't look that much into it, to be fair, but what I've said is kind of like what I kind of like think about it. But it's a very interesting dynamic, and there's a lot of videos on YouTube that talk about it. But I think until you actually experience it for yourself, then yeah, it's a difficult one to try and pin down, because the dynamics of energy can be so polar opposites and so far apart. But yeah, maybe that element of turbulence is something that it needs to activate something. Maybe that's right. Maybe that is something. So we've had Toby join. Toby's been on. I've not been on for a live for ages, but yeah, Toby was a good guy that I chatted to. And Brian, highly sensitive healer. Go over and check Brian's channel out as well and give him a sub. He's got some really good content. He does a lot of balancing stones, which is what he uses to kind of like bring him down, helps his mental health and focus. That's his way of focusing. So that's his meditation. There's so many different ways of meditating, but that's Brian's way of meditating. So head over there and check his channel out as well and give him a subscribe. So he's a really canny guy. So yeah, I'm the same as you. I tend to feel what it's about first, and I'll go and check it out, and then I'll have to feel what they're saying. I'll think, well, is this bullshit or is it genuine? Is it okay? It really does vary. But again, it'll vary from person to person, because we're all in different frequencies and we're all in different levels of awakening and vibrationally receptive. I often think of it of it being like sort of like veils. So if you have like sort of like loads and loads of veils you can't quite see through, and as you start to lift the veils off, it becomes clearer and you get more clarity. And that's kind of like my way of kind of visualizing it and trying to explain how it works, and how you sort of like, as you lift the veils away, you become more receptive, so you can feel more with it, feel more into the energy. I've been on here for like nearly 85 minutes. That's crazy. Just under an hour and a half. So I am going to head off soon. But thank you for everybody that's joined, and thank you for some of the great questions and the great chat that we've had going today. It's been really, really awesome, and you've had such a you've all had such a great connection. You really, really have. You've helped each other so much. Twin flame journey for me was a catalyst to send me into my divine purpose, while he went backwards and stayed low vibrational without even trying to heal. Yeah, you see, it's two, again, that's two opposites, isn't it? You've gone onto the journey that you need to go onto, which is more in line with your soul, and they've stayed where they are. They've stayed stagnant in that energy. So it's two polar opposites of energy. So you can either ascend and work on your frequency, or you stay where you are. It's very, very interesting how it works. It really is. But you're very, very welcome, Laura. I hope whatever was said here today has given you some clarity, some ammunition, some strength for yourself to move forward. Whoever's joined, whoever's watched, I hope you've all subscribed to the channel. Click the bell as well so you get notified of whenever I upload a new video. Check out my latest video today as well, which is all to do how we store emotions in the body. And also head over to the members. You can become a member on the channel as well for a small cost to help the channel grow. And there's various levels of membership, but the lowest one helps you to get early access to upcoming videos. I've got videos at the minute scheduled for most of this month, and I really need to get on the game and get some more scheduled. But yeah, I've just been feeling a little bit kind of like dry in ideas lately, but you guys have really helped to inspire me a little bit more, so that's really good. So thank you so much for that. But all that being said, I'm going to go and get myself some tea. So thank you very, very much for being here. Thank you very, very much for chatting and keeping me company. And I hope I've helped you on your journey as well. But I'll see you again in another video very, very soon. And beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You're very, very welcome, Alex. A lot of clarity. I'm working on it even more after this live. Excellent. Good. Good, good, good. See you all soon. We have got this. Yes, you have. You are very, very powerful. Don't forget, you are very, very powerful, and own your power, own your light. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Namaste. Take care. Much love. It's been lovely to chat to you. Bye for now. Bye-bye.